Welcome to the Bot Squad podcast, everybody. I am your host, GinaMan94, here to review Monday Night Raw for June 20th, 2016, the night after Money in the Bank. Raw kicked off with the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion, Dean Ambrose, coming out, dropping a promo, and, winning the title after cashing in his Money in the Bank contract, and pretty much bringing karma to Seth Rollins, because Seth Rollins won the WWE World Heavyweight title the same way. He cashed in his Money in the Bank contract. So, the crowd was hyped for Dean. They were excited to see him, as champion. And, he was pretty much just saying hard work pays off and busting his ass and never getting down when he would lose and always keeping steady on the path to greatness. And now he's, champion. So Roman Reigns came out to interrupt him, saying last night wasn't his night, but it was Dean's night, and he was happy for him. He gave him some handshake or whatever he did, and he was like, "How did it feel to cash in on Seth Rollins? It must have felt pretty good." And then Dean Ambrose just pretty much shut all of whatever Roman was trying to do down and was like, "Man, I would have cashed in on you too." And Roman was like, "Whoa, hold on, man. I thought we were cool." But I like that from Dean. He's the champion now. He doesn't have time for friends anymore. He's the champion. He's on top. So it was great. And then, the fans kept cheering at Reigns that, he can't wrestle or whatever and he sucks. And Roman clapped back at him, too. He was like, for all the dudes saying I can't wrestle, why don't you come wrestle me yourselves and prove that I can't wrestle? So, Roman snapping back at the crowd. I think the heel turn is coming soon. I definitely think that. So then Seth Rollins comes out and says, "Hey, whoa, no. That's not how we about to do this. Because I know what you're out here for, Reigns. You're not about to get your rematch. I'm getting my rematch." He was like, "I beat you last night to win the title, and then Dean Ambrose attacked me from behind." Roman was like, "That doesn't feel good, does it, to get attacked from behind when you least expect it?" Rollins was like, "No, at least I did it to your face when I cashed in." And so they were bickering about the rematch. So then Shane McMahon comes out, and we all know where this was going. Shane makes a match to see who would face Dean Ambrose first tonight in the main event. So they were all whatever about that. And then Raw proceeded with the first match of the night, which was Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. Now, the story they were trying to portray here is that, these two have been in a rivalry for so long since they've came out of the same wrestling promotions together and fought on the indies together, that they were going to end their rivalry tonight. These two were out, settle their beef once and for all. They were hurt from the ladder match in Money in the Bank because they both kind of died, but they still gave it their all. Sami Zayn was countering pop-up power bombs into a roll-up to beat Owens, but the match was alright. I didn't really have any problems with this. You've seen them guys wrestle so many times, it's hard to expect a different result from them. But after the match, Kevin Owens attacked Zayn and tried to powerbomb him off the stage because he was mad he lost the match. But Zayn countered, and they continued to fight until they were separated by the refs. Even when they came back from commercial break, they were fighting in the back, and Finley and Road Dogg had to get them all separated and stuff. So I like what they did here, because instead of ending the rivalry is just going to keep going, which we all expected to happen. But it was great to see that, no matter how many times they fight, they're still going to be bitter enemies for the longest. And that's good. These two are two I don't mind being rivals for such a long time because of their history. They've come from the same place, they fought many times, and, they've both cost each other opportunity after opportunity. They're going to be rivals. They're bitter rivals. It's going to be great. I hope they don't overdo it, but just the fact that that's in the back of their minds every time that they step into the ring or even see each other is good. It adds a different dynamic to it. So they come out and talk about the WWE draft is happening July 19th on the first episode of Live Smackdown. The brand split, the brand differentiationalism, whatever you want to call it. John Laurinaitis comes out and he goes to the Smackdown podium pretending to put his name in the hat to be the Smackdown general manager for when Smackdown goes live, because they're going to have general managers for both shows. So he comes out and, people power, and I'm John Laurinaitis, and I want to be the Smackdown general manager, and people power, and yeah, you remember me, Big Johnny, right? Yeah. With his old raspy voice, laryngitis, talking self. And Shane came out and shut him down the same way Stephanie shut Teddy Long down a couple weeks ago, and pretty much had him leave. So Shane was like, if anybody's gonna run SmackDown, it's gonna be me. We're not gonna have any corporate yes men running SmackDown. So Johnny went away, and then Enzo and Cass came out, and then Enzo and Shane were like admiring each other's Jordans, and then he did this little shuffle thing, and it was pretty funny. It was cool. And then Enzo came out and pretty much buried John Laurinaitis, talking about they called him John Laryngitis, which me and my friends have often called him because his raspy voice is just so hard to listen to. And then they had a match with the Vaudevillians. It didn't go long because once Cass got into the ring, he pretty much took all of them out, and then they hit their finisher, which they used to call the rocket launcher. It's now called the Bada Boom Shakalaka, to pick up the win on the Vaudevillains. The Vaudevillains, man, they're like the Ascension. They've lost credibility. They used to be, hyped up in NXT, and they're messing up with them as well. But once this brand split happens, maybe they'll become more important. I could only hope so. So after that, AJ Styles came out to talk about his match with Cena. He says, he should be happy because he beat John Cena last night, but it was tainted by his brothers Gallows and Anderson. And then he brags about beating Cena, but it didn't go down the way he dreamt it would go down. So he has the club come out to give him an apology because they got involved in his business. So they come out and they're just looking confused once again. AJ says, he had Cena right where he wanted him. He didn't need their help. And you gave Cena an excuse to drag his name through the mud because he signed a contract that they wouldn't get involved. So, they gave him this bullshit apology and tried to make it seem all real. And when Anderson apologized to AJ, I was dying. He was like, AJ, I'm sorry. It was just hilarious the way he said it. It was just so funny. So, I was dying laughing at that. And then they called Cena out so they could apologize to Cena, and Cena wasn't having none of it. He was like, no, I don't want your BS apology. You needed to win desperately, and you used them to do it. And instead of moving on to bigger and better things, you're trying to cover up the fact that you used them to win. And now you're using excuses. And AJ says, no, you're using them as an excuse to prove you're not as good as you say you are. And Cena says he respects the win, but he just said AJ doesn't have balls or his word, which is two things a man should always have, because he went back on what he said. And then he said AJ did him a favor. They gave him an excuse, and now he's gonna choose which one of the club he's gonna face, to get his revenge back on, since they costed him the match last night. Cena was like, it doesn't matter who you have me face because I already know it's gonna be 1 versus 3 in the end. So they choose Carl Anderson. He's like, no, I'm a man of my word. And they left, and Carl Anderson faced Cena. So John Cena versus Carl Anderson was the next match. Cena did not let Carl Anderson lay a finger on him. I don't think Carl Anderson even touched Cena, except when Cena was hitting him with a move. Cena was in control the whole match. There was no offense from Carl Anderson. Cena hit him with the AA, but he was checking the whole match. He kept looking at the ramp because he already knew that AJ Styles was going to come out to attack him again with Gallows. He kept checking. And then he finally got comfortable, hit Carl Anderson with the AA, and went for the pin. And as soon as he did, AJ Styles and Gallows came back out, and then, of course, they attacked him. 3-on-1, just like Cena predicted. And then AJ hit the Styles Clash on Cena, leaving him laying in the middle of the ring again. So, like I said, the rivalry is going to continue. They're going to have plenty more matches. So now Seth Rollins was in the back talking about his match against Roman Reigns later tonight. He said he proved last night that he's better than Reigns and shouldn't have to prove it again. And he should have been champion, but, Dean Ambrose cashed in his Money in the Bank contract. So he's just going to beat Reigns like he did last night. Becky Lynch also backstage talking about Natty betraying her. She says she's cursed. Every woman she's tried to defend has always turned her back on her, and she's the last woman in the division with an ounce of decency or respect, so she's better off that way. She's not trusting anybody anymore. And then Natty attacked her from behind again, saying for the first time in a long time she's looking out for herself and not anybody else. So Zack Ryder jobbed out to Baron Corbin. Not much to say about that. Paige is talking about her opportunity she's been giving because she would face Charlotte for the Women's Championship in a few. And she was talking about just getting the opportunity after she beat Charlotte like 2 weeks ago on Raw. And Charlotte and Dana Brooke are right there, like off to the side, pretty much stealing her spotlight again. And Charlotte says what happened last week was a fluke. It was Dana Brooke's fault. Dana took the blame for it. And Paige said the ring is her house and she will win the title from Charlotte pretty much. So they have the match, Charlotte versus Paige for the WWE Women's Championship. It was okay. Seemed like they botched the ending because Paige hit the Paige Turner on her and she went for the pin. And Dana was supposed to put Charlotte's foot on the rope. She put it under the rope and was holding it. So it kind of put the ref in a weird spot. Instead of just seeing Charlotte's foot on the rope, he had to kick Dana out. But by the time he did that, Charlotte hit natural selection on Paige and won the match. But after the match is where something big happened. Because, they started to attack Paige and beat her up. And then Sasha Banks came out. And she helped fight off Charlotte and Dana Brooke. And then she held up the Women's Championship, which pretty much shows that she's going to go after it. We've been waiting for Sasha Banks to come back for a while now. And she finally returned to Raw. And the crowd was hype. And she just looked as beautiful as she always does. So we're going to see Charlotte versus Sasha Banks here in the near future. It's going to be a great match. So Roman's backstage preparing to fight Seth. And he said, he proved he's the guy. But he's going to have to prove it again tonight when he has to beat Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins proved he was the man. That's what I meant to say. But he's going to have to prove it again tonight when they face off for the chance to face Dean at Battleground. So Bray Wyatt came back tonight as well. Like, this Raw was just full of returns and good matches. He came out, dropped a promo, and then in the middle of his promo, the New Day interrupted him, which surprised me because I thought they were going to just have the Wyatts as face. So it surprised me the New Day came out. And, they were just saying, every time they come out, they have a good time. You guys bring the mood down. And, they went to do their WWE World Tag Team Champions thing. And, Xavier was having none of it. He was just, distraught and just he was staring at the Wyatts and started walking towards them. And Kofi and Big E was like, "Yo, what's up, man? That's your line. That's your gimmick. Come on, what you doing?" And then they proceeded to do it. But Xavier was looking shook, man. He wasn't having that much fun as they were. So Bray says, "I hope you know what you've done because you interrupt me on my return, and now New Day is gonna fall." So the Wyatts are about to feud with the New Day, so that's pretty cool for me. I don't mind that at all. I was wondering where Luke Harper was. I don't know if he's still hurt or whatever. But yeah, it was just Bray, Rowan, and Braun Strowman. So good to have those guys back. Glad Bray is healthy now. And yeah, we'll see where it goes from there. So now they do this damn Rusev versus Titus O'Neil match again. I'm just like, why are you about to do Titus dirty again? But before the match, Titus dropped a heated promo. He was ticked. He was mad. He requested this match against Rusev because he disrespected him and his family, his sons that were ringside last night. So he requested this match with Rusev. So he came out fired up. Rusev wouldn't let him get in the ring at first until the ref finally had to let him get in. And they just started brawling. The match didn't even start. The bell didn't ring. They just started fighting. And Titus just went off, throwing him into the barricades and everything, just pretty much beating Rusev down until the point where Rusev had to get away from him. Titus was on a mission, and that's how he should have looked last night. The way he looked tonight was how he should have been last night. But they had Rusev running away. And yeah, so I'm guessing these two are going to feud for a little bit longer as well. Shane comes back to his office in the back, and Jericho's in there waiting for him. He was like, "I know you have it out for me, McMahon." And then Shane goes to tell him, you've had opportunity after opportunity. Because Jericho was complaining that Dean Ambrose is the WWE World Heavyweight Champion and not him. He was like, you had the chance to beat Dean in the Asylum match. You didn't do that. You had a chance to win the Money in the Bank last night. You didn't do that either. And Jericho was like, for you to even have Dean Ambrose as your champion is only the work of a stupid idiot. And Shane was like, you call me a stupid idiot one more time, and that Asylum match is just going to look like a walk in the park to you. And Jericho was like, okay, I'm going to back off. And he says he prays he gets drafted to a show that Shane isn't running because he doesn't want to be involved with that. So, you know, Shane wasn't backing down from Jericho. Shane was going to pop him in the mouth if he kept talking fly. So it was just hilarious. Jericho's just salty that Dean Ambrose is the champion or whatever. So now we have the main event. Dean Ambrose was on commentary for it. Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns. Number 1 contenders match for Dean Ambrose's WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Match was good, just like it was at Money in the Bank. They were tired and hurt, so the pace was a little bit slower than it was last night. But still was a good match. They beat the hell out of each other for 2 straight nights. Roman had speared Seth over the announce table, and they had got counted out of the match. So nobody won. But then Shane McMahon came out and was gonna, restart the match. But Dean Ambrose interrupted him and was like, you know what? I'll fight them both in the same night. Forget it. I would have 2 matches. It don't matter to me. And Shane was like, you know what? I like that idea, but I'll do you one better. Actually, no. Shane was trying to have him. I don't know. They made a Shield triple threat match. Damn it. That's what happened. They made a Shield triple threat match, and he said Dean is a fighting champion and he likes the spirit. So after that, Dean held the title up, to Seth Rollins, and he held it up in front of Roman. It's like, I'm the champion. Ain't no brotherhood, nothing, this or that. I'm the champion. And he went to walk away. Roman was like, hold on, what up, man? What's up with the beef, man? I thought we were cool. He turned him around, was like, yo, what's going on? And Dean hit him with the dirty deeds. And then Seth was like, whoa, I don't want no problems with that. And Dean left the ring. Seth went to go attack Roman because, he had the opportunity because Roman was down from the dirty deeds. Dean ran back into the ring and hit Seth with dirty deeds and held up his title and went out on top. So these past 2 nights have been great for Dean Ambrose. I enjoyed Raw tonight as well. It wasn't, boring. 2 matches I didn't care about. But other than that, Raw was pretty good. Pretty solid show. Didn't have any gripes about it. And I like the future they're going here. Hopefully we keep up with the consistent Raws. And I'm actually happy Dean is champion. We have a different champion for once. So we'll see where this goes. All members of the Shield have been champion in one night, by the way. I forgot to mention that in my Money in the Bank review. But yeah, we'll see where this goes. And I'm excited for this triple threat match to happen. And I wonder how you guys felt about Raw. Did you think it was a good show or whatever? And leave your comments down in the comment section below. Leave a like on the video for your boy. Your support is really appreciative. Appreciative? Is that a word? Appreciated. That's what I meant to say. I can't talk, man. I can never talk. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys later on. Peace.